competitiveness as well. People are always ready to help each other out within e-residency, I find, which is really lovely.
Yeah, and
maybe I can I just add also one comment?
Go ahead.
To understand that for us as Estonians, maybe we don't put so much attention anymore, but if you have now that, people listening from different countries at the moment, and Estonia is fully digital, it means that basically in Estonia, we don't have any more classical signature on the paper. I would say that all the businesses are operating here with digital signature. So that if you have a e-resident card, then one thing is that you can communicate with state authorities like tax authorities and, for example, even with banks, but also the local businesses here. All your client relations will be based on digital signature, so that you can do all the things abroad, basically, whatever you want to do or sign regarding Estonia. So we are, I would say that 95% digital this way, that there is no requirements to sign papers, hard copies. Like we still have some other countries I know that they still ask stamps, which is usually Estonians, they always are very surprised that if you have a requirement that please send us paper copy with a signature and stamp, because then in Estonia with companies usually they don't have a stamp anymore. So it's these things that you just understand that basically you will have access to fully digital market, I would say. And then it's a little bit different concept to think how to run your business. It's not just, the tax authorities and the banks, that the general market is operating digitally. So this is just one comment from my side.
Thanks, Velvo. Yeah, it's good to always hear this from Estonians because
I'm very often here to surprise when, we will get the new clients, e-residents, then they are so surprised when they really understand how it works here.
Yeah.
It's, they don't even, maybe very often they don't even realize that how digital it is. That we have also, these e-notary meetings and stuff like that you can still later on, you can do many transactions abroad. You don't need to come to Estonia. We have this basically, that you can sell and transfer your assets even without coming to Estonia, which is, I would say it's very unusual if you're not Estonian.
There's a couple of questions here, Hannah, about creating a foundation or a nonprofit. You mentioned that the OU, the private limited, was the most popular business form, but we do have e-residents who set up nonprofits too as well.
We do. They're called MTUs. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong to the Estonians. And we actually recently published a guide to setting up an MTU on our blog. So I don't have access to my laptop at the moment because I've got the webinar going, but maybe one of my colleagues who's moderating can find the link and add it into the chat or into the Q&A. And it has a really detailed, it has a really nice detailed step-by-step guide to doing that. Velvo, I don't know if you have any clients who set up not-for-profits in Estonia, but it seems to be a topic that's growing for us as well.
We have, but it's still not so common, I guess, because due to our corporate tax system also, I guess, this is the way of thinking is maybe a little bit different, and then having this non-profit organization is maybe, not so needed so often, but the setup process is still quite similar. You do it, just, this, basically there are some things a little bit different, or the purpose of the organization is maybe, main thing, that why you want to set up this non-profit organization, because, you're not profitable. So there is some other things you want to do, basically, but still online setup is still possible. So it's, but I will say that in our office, at least, we don't have e-residents who have tried to set up MTU, non-profit organization. So I would say still that it's not so common.
No, I agree. I think it's less obviously less than the OUs, but we do get the questions every webinar from a few people asking about it. So yeah. So we're actually out of time, unless there are any burning questions that you can see there that you'd like to answer. As I mentioned at the beginning, we did have over 200 people in the webinar today. So I think we've answered about well over 80 questions. So we've done pretty well. But if you didn't get an answer to your question, please feel free to go on the Reddit, the new Reddit, which I mentioned earlier today. Or you can also contact our support team. And on this slide, I will give you the email. There it is. There's the support email. I've also provided a few other links here. So for example, if you want to subscribe to our newsletter, you can do that on our website. And if you want to apply for e-residency, the link to the application page is there as well. And finally, after you leave the webinar, a survey will pop up. We'll be really, really grateful if you could give us your feedback, because we really do read it and we try and improve these webinars every month. For example, Maya being here today, having an e-resident on the webinar is something that was direct from feedback from last year's live Q&A. So I hope that it's been helpful for you to have an e-resident here. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you, Maya, for being here.
Oh, it's a great pleasure. It is a community, as I said, so it's great to be part of it. And I'm always happy to connect with e-residents as well. You can find me on Twitter and LinkedIn. Anything with my name on it is me, basically. So.
And I also want to thank, with my biggest heart, Velvo and Alari for being here and answering so many great questions. So thank you guys. And yeah, as we mentioned at the beginning, you can find them on the marketplace. If you have any further questions or are thinking that they might be good business partners for your company in Estonia.
All questions very welcome. We are waiting. So
fantastic.
Do not hesitate to contact us.
What about the
Fantastic.
hardware problems?
I think, thank you, Alex, for joining me.
Not being
Helping
able
me,
to
giving me a break from speaking too much.
log in to your system.
And finally,
because of the
thank you
hardware
everyone
problems.
for joining. We had a big participation today. So it was quite chaotic. I hope you found out some new information, and I hope you we gave you some good answers to your questions. So thank you and have a really great day.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
I missed it. I have to say, I had it planned on my schedule and I missed it. I forgot. Paying 70 euros a month just to support the running of my Estonian company. My e-residency is expiring later this year, and I'm not sure if I want to keep it. I would really remove all of this bureaucratic stuff generally from our society. I wonder what our society is going to look like when we remove all this stuff. How are we going to be handling this reality? It's funny, Estonia. I'm your e-resident and I cannot travel to your country because you don't allow us in. How come? The world is becoming more and more absurd. No option. Avocado. Yo, why so many boring companies out there? I really wonder. Do we really need all this stuff? Humans.
seasteading. Where does the poop go?
Great.
If you love the ocean, you should stop pooping in toilets that empty into seasteads. Flush toilets not only throw away huge amounts of water, but also all the nutrients found in the excrement. Every time you push that toilet lever, you deplete our agricultural soils and contribute to the formation of dead zones. Since this rich treasure of nutrients is wasted, landfolk must get fertilizer by creating even more pollution, by mining phosphate from rock and taking nitrogen from the air. Why should we get these vital nutrients from unsustainable industries when they are sustainably coming out of our bodies?
Right.
It is easy to create toilets that are
Coming out of
excellent
our
for the
bodies.
environment. The solution is simple: urine diverting dry toilets. Here's how it works. Poop falls into a chamber where it is kept dry and covered with rich, dry soil. And after 6 months in the tropics, it stops being feces and simply becomes more rich, dry soil, which will be used to cover new poop and may potentially become fertilizer on seastead farms. Urine, on the other hand, contains 90% of the nutrients plants need to grow, and when dispersed into soil, it transmits no diseases. And because there is only environmental harm when poop and pee are mixed together, we only need to ensure poop and pee go in different directions. Luckily, urine diverting dry toilets are not a new technology. They were invented in Japan in 1950, and the experience of using one can be just as pleasant as using a standard flush toilet. There are thousands of upscale dry toilets in Scandinavian homes and an estimated million in China. Seastead